line up for questions, I just want to point out that I will not engage in this totally weird habit the Obamas have of applauding themselves. Is that a mic?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Adam Griffith. I'm from Westminster College in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania. I'm a big fan. I was just wondering, in recent articles you've been talking about the poll on the ranks of presidents. You mentioned it again today. Why is it, do you think...
Wait, the poll on what?
The rankings of presidential leadership.
Yeah.
How is it that Americans can perceive somebody like, for example, FDR over somebody like Theodore Roosevelt, who led the country into the 20th century while basically FDR pounded it into the ground and then got lucky on a world war?
Right. Well, one of the things FDR did, liberals keep saying, oh, it was the war spending that got us out of the Depression. Actually, there were a lot of other things. When the war came, FDR realized he couldn't have a bunch of socialists running the government, and he brought in a lot of capitalists. That's one thing. We also got a lot of smart people here after World War II. There were a lot of things that pulled us out of the Depression. Argentina and Japan have tried the spending your way out of a recession. It didn't work out that well. And as for, people's perception, these are usually polls of historians. They're not Americans. And also even when Americans answer poll questions, they seem to think that when their opinion is being asked for, it's like an IQ test and they can get the answer wrong.
I'm not going to propose to you. I did forget the ring upstairs, so I'll catch you later. I know a little while ago you said that Canadians should be lucky that the United States doesn't roll over and crush them in the night. And
yes.
I was wondering, and how can us conservative Canadians earn the love that we have for you?
Well, you're on a good start. That's the funny thing about Canadians. You're either really, really good or really, really awful. At the beginning of the Iraq War, it was really coming perilously close to really awful.
Anne, a couple weeks ago you made a...
I have no idea.
Over here, yeah. on your right. A couple weeks ago you made an appearance on what I would think would be everybody's favorite daytime panel, TV's The View. And I just wanted to know, I just use it as an example. That was the last time I saw you on TV. You compared Barbara Walters reading your book Guilty to a previous reading she had done of Mein Kampf. I just want to ask, do you think that your style of self-expression is advantageous to the Republican cause? And if not, do you... Because I mean, it's no secret. It's no secret to anybody that you definitely know how to stir a deep pot with a large spoon. But it's, I mean.
Okay, got the question. The answer is yes. And I mean, that is a perfect example of this insane phenomenon I describe in my book of people playing victims to achieve some advantage. What, you're not allowed to cite Mein Kampf? Is that the new rule? Because somebody better tell the New York Times Book Review.
I just thought because you're so criticized for that.
No, we got the question. Step away from the mic. I keep asking people who mention this, at least on TV, to play the first part where Barbara Walters was reading from my book as if she was reading from Mein Kampf, spitting the words out. It was really something to behold. And so when I remarked on it, no, you can't say that, you can't say it. Well, why can't I say that? Well, is that the rule? You can't mention Hitler or Mein Kampf? Because that is an all-new rule. As I've said before, we need a NASDAQ ticker for what words can be used when, by whom, in what circumstances, when speaking to whom, and it's constantly changing. This is just to keep right-wingers on their toes and confused and, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Well, no, I'm not apologizing. And in fact, I loved going on The View because being around those gals always makes me feel so young and pretty. Like going to a spa.
Am I on? Speaking of the young, schools, the consumers of most public school services don't have a vote. By age 16, students have had 10 years as consumers of the product, yet they don't have a voice. My county had an 80% turnout on election day, but 1/6 of the voters didn't vote for county races, and 1/3 did not vote for school board. Would you be for... I've heard commentators of your stature say we've got some adult hypocrisy going on where the schools are really unions, adults first and kids second. Would you be for kids maybe voting for school board, maybe also president at 16 to energize the adults that are sitting at home not paying attention?
No, I think you're going in the wrong direction. I want to raise the voting age to 40. Maybe 30, but you need to get them out of the 12 years of propagandizing in the public schools and then 4 years of propagandizing by college professors or, for short, former members of the Weather Underground. I don't know.
What do you think about the future of our national security, seeing as though our current commander-in-chief went to shake the hand of a military officer because he doesn't know how to salute, and probably wouldn't be able to get a security clearance if he was a regular citizen, and also thought a window was a door at the White House?
And also thinks there's 57 states, don't forget that. My favorite Obama answer during the debates on national security was, what would you do if during this debate, God forbid, 3 U.S. cities were hit simultaneously? And he said he'd send ambulances. And John Edwards said, and I'd be right there chasing them. See, it shows you how different Obama and I are. I would have said, which 3 U.S. cities? Actually, on national security, I think we all ought to be gloating because Obama seems to be continuing the policies of George Bush. It's MoveOn.org, Daily Kaz, Kids Code Pink, and the New York Times who ought to be weeping. So apparently Obama, got into office and got the national security briefings and thought, I can't let the New York Times run national security. So I think we do owe a thank you to George Bush for keeping us so safe and acknowledged by... That I can applaud.
Ladies and gentlemen, last question.
And that's now been acknowledged by Obama, who is continuing his policies. Guantanamo's still open. We still have renditions. We're pulling out of Iraq. Probably about the same time Bush would have pulled out. The one real problem with Obama on national security is solely for politically correct reasons. He had to say, I'm pulling out of Iraq to satisfy crazy people, i.e. the Democratic base. But he's not quite pulling out of Iraq, but he is putting more troops in Afghanistan, which is insane. This has been the focus of the terrorists. They're all streaming across into Iraq, where we can win. Now it's going to be in Afghanistan, which could well be another Vietnam. So for politically correct reasons, we're moving the focus of the war on terrorism to a very bad place for us. The Russians couldn't win there. Peter the Great couldn't win there. But maybe the Messiah can win there. Okay.